Hey everybody, this is Joe at the Middle Ground Mike. I hope this catches everybody well. Let's do a quick hit on that Michigan Panthers versus the Dallas Renegades. The Panthers traveled to Arlington, Texas to play the Renegades this week. I'm a Panthers fan, obviously. Um, you always want to talk about, run the ball, you run the ball, you win the game, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And, a thing that I found very, very weird is, Luis Perez, the quarterback of the Renegades, he went 25 for 34, 74%, two touchdowns. Only sacked, well, not only, but sacked three times. And uh, the Renegades literally only ran the ball for 32 yards on 23 rushes. That's a 1.4 yard average. Ironically, the Panthers ran the ball for 23 times, and they had, I believe, 105, 104 yards total rushing. That's just you win the you win the game by running the ball, but it also matters if you can actually run the ball. But it does seem like the Dallas Renegades knew that. Perez was their ticket to trying to win this game, but I'm not sure if that was the key why they still tried to attempt to run it 23 times at a 1.4 yard carry average. I mean, that just seems silly to me. Bryce Perkins had an okay day. He 15-28 for 231 yards. If you don't know, he's the Michigan Panthers quarterback. He had one touchdown. Michigan ran the ball pretty well. Their defense obviously stepped up in the second half. I think a weird stat for me, I guess. I'll say weird. That's dumb. Um, the the Renegades had the time of possession. They won the time of possession battle, right? They even won the turnover battle. I believe the Panthers only had one. I'm sorry, the Renegades only had one. Panthers had two, I believe. And they it's just confusing because it just generally goes against all the statistics, right? They did. They ate up a lot of clock, running the ball, even though they only had 32 yards total. They did pass the ball, but I don't. It's just a very doesn't seem like the sequence of plays maybe went the way the Renegades hoped it would, But in the end, both teams played a really good game. But man, the Panthers really came, they came clawing back at the end, and they pushed through. Maybe they were taking a key from the Tigers. Well, even though they were down in Arlington, maybe it took a key from the neighbor of the Tigers down here in Detroit, or up here in Detroit. It was a pretty good game. Bryce Perkins is still fun to watch. There was one play, I believe it was like they were like 4th and 7, something of that nature. Um, it looked like I'm sorry, Bryce Perkins, not Bryce Perkins. Throws that ball, and man, it looks like he's about to get blasted at the same time. I mean, that takes that takes some really big guts. Kudos to him. Kudos to the Panthers. Hey, great, happy you guys won. Let's get to that UFL championship again this year, and actually let's win the title this year. I know you guys don't have Jake Bates because he's on the Lions now, but come on, you know. Nolan seems to be the coach to take the Panthers where they need to go. So let's do it and let's win. Go Panthers.